riding is all about delicate communication between horse and rider. This is only possible if riders have superior coordination skills for multitasking. It's like being a one-man band, or like the children's game of simultaneously tapping your head and rubbing your stomach. Try adding kicking with one leg and hopping on the other. The rider learns these new coordination skills in the first lesson, and by the third lesson the coordination is virtually correct, because the brain continues to practice a new physical activity while we are sleeping. This system of riding and learning coordination avoids giving horses opposing messages, one to go and the other to stop. It is called riding hands without legs and legs without hands. Most riders inadvertently give horses two simultaneous opposing messages. The language used in teaching riding often contributes to this confusion. Phrases such as put your elbows by your sides and carry your hands cause tension in the arms and blocks all elasticity. The method of holding the reins while simultaneously pushing the horse forwards into what is often referred to as intercontact gives two opposing messages. It is safe to say that opposing messages are the cause of most training problems.
If you were in a car and you put your foot on the accelerator and your other foot on the brakes, what would happen?
Well, it wouldn't go anywhere.
It wouldn't go anywhere. And there's a good chance that you'll burn out the engine and you'll burn out the brakes. And it's exactly the same with a horse. You'll burn out the mouth and your horse won't go forward anymore.
This training system comprises 4 exercises. These 4 exercises form the basis of all competitive riding. All other movements, up to and including Grand Prix, are variations of these 4 exercises. The 4 exercises will be demonstrated in the actual lessons of 3 riders. A novice rider on a novice horse, an experienced rider on an untrained horse, and a beginner rider on a trained horse. The first rider is at novice level. She has been riding for most of her life with intermittent riding lessons. She typifies most riders. Her horse is a retired racehorse which she has been retraining for 2.5 years. She has done only basic work on him, and today will be her first lesson in this method of riding.
Humans and animals move because of automatic reactions, and the one is a balance reaction. So if I disturb your balance, you'll take a step. If I disturb your balance sideways, you'll take a step. If we can use these automatic reactions to maneuver the horse, we can make him understand exactly what we want the first time we ask. Why will a horse do what we ask? And they only do it if they understand what we're saying. So we have to be absolutely explicit in our communication with a horse. If we want to be effective riders, we have to have control of the whole horse. We have to control the head, the bend, we have to control the shoulders, the turns, and we have to control the hindquarters. So if we can apply that to a horse, wouldn't it be magnificent? So I'm going to explain the aids and how to prevent 2 opposing messages. You have to allow him through. So now you will never have a forward problem ever again, because there was no confusion here.
Maybe.
In Hayley's initial trot, her reins were loose, but her arms were tight at the shoulders and at the elbows, which were also pinned against her sides. Consequently, this created inconsistent bit pressure, causing the horse to hollow into an extensor frame. After the 3 lessons, Hayley has relaxed her arms considerably. They are now moving with the horse's mouth. Roy is now in a round flexor frame and working through from behind and can bend with ease. His stride length has also increased. Our second rider is well versed in this method of riding, so will need little input from me. Michel bought this young horse a week ago. He has had basic training, but not in this method. In Michel's first lesson, the horse's rhythm had not yet been established, and he did not know how to move in a round flexion on the bit frame. His shoulders were also falling in, as he had not yet learned to bend in the direction of the movement. Michel's horse did all 4 exercises in one lesson and changed from, as Michel said, a rudderless ship into a balanced, rhythmical, supple horse, trotting on a soft contact in a round flexor frame. Our third rider is a beginner child rider on an experienced pony trained in this method. She has had a few lessons at a local riding school. Here she is demonstrating her usual walk and halt transitions. Note the tightening of her stomach in the fetal crouch and the pull on the reins as her only stopping aid. Chiara's initial trot was unbalanced, uncoordinated, behind the movement and rising far too high out of the saddle. I added a few extra exercises because Kiara is a beginner rider and needed to improve her balance and control. These gave her more confidence. After her first 3 lessons, her balance had improved to such an extent that she was not gripping with her legs, neither balancing on her arms. Posting was smooth, balanced, and with the movement. Her arms became relaxed and her seat 99% independent. All 3 riders and horses understood the half halt from the first lesson on and can now balance their horses and regulate their rhythm with proper half halts. All 3 riders and horses ride their horses with the correct bend. The horse bends his own neck to the inside and does not fall in. A balanced canter in a round on the bit frame is a natural outcome of these 3 lessons. Hayley had some more lessons after the initial 3, especially in lateral work. She then went on to do her Ikwaza Module 5 in teaching and riding. In this she achieved 83% for her riding and 88% for her teaching. This is Kiara's riding after a year of lessons in this method.